Okay, please, your questions for Novak.
Novak, have you found that the other players are treating you any differently now that you're the world's #1 player? And do you feel like you have a bit of a target on your back now?
No, I didn't have any feeling that the players were treating me differently. I think that fact is that some things change probably from the media's perspective, and maybe the world is treating me a little bit different than before. But I try to keep the things very simple in my daily routine. Do everything that I have done before I became #1, and just want to keep doing the good work. I have still a great team of people around me, so we just have a lot of more years hopefully to come.
Novak, when you compare your level of play from last year, this time of the year, and this year, what has been the biggest difference? I was looking at your stats, like there's less double faults. Can you talk about overall your game, how it has changed in a year?
Well, maybe by small margins. I have a couple of elements in my game that I have improved. Probably the service back, and this year I get to have 3 points more than I usually did in the last couple of years, which is always helpful at this level. But I think overall it's just I think the mental part that's helped me a lot to come to where I am at this moment. The confidence that I have and the self-belief on the court that I can win the big matches.
You had some rest since Wimbledon. You needed that rest. Can you tell us how fresh you are? How did you spend that time? I saw you on the shows.
I did have a rest, and it came at the right time. I took some 2 weeks off, almost 2 weeks off, and tried really to use it as best as I can to rest and to recharge my batteries, and of course enjoy the success that I had and the best 8 months of my life, and it all sank in, and it was fantastic. And but now we're back to reality, and I'm eager to win some more matches.
Novak, it's a long road to #1. Where do you think you really found that first starting point for you to get to where you are? Is there a match, or is there a tournament that really got you fired up and moving that way?
I think generally looking, it was a process. They say progress is a slow process, so it takes a while. You cannot have success overnight, and I was aware of that even when I had won my first Grand Slam in 2008. I did face a lot of difficulties and changed my racket, and there were some side factors that affected my game. I wasn't really myself on the court. I wasn't feeling comfortable, especially around this time last year, around French Open. First 6 months of 2010 were, I think, the toughest that I had since I got to the professional tennis. But once you overcome that, once you go through the crisis, you come out of those crises as a stronger player, as a stronger person. You mature more, and I think starting from Wimbledon, actually, where I played semifinals last year, I started playing better and better, just kind of raising my form higher each tournament that I played on. A couple of matches in US Open, probably the one against Federer in semifinal was one of the turning points, that I had. The Davis Cup win, since then I got a lot of energy, because it's just a different feeling from anything that you experience on the individual event, and it was probably one of the best feelings next to the Wimbledon title that I had on the tennis court. So since then it was really uphill ride.
When you use the term crisis, is that physical or mental? You kind of use that.
I'd say it was more mental, but it's normal. I mean, we're all humans in the end, and you need to go through this period. I'm sure everybody would agree with that, and everybody has went through some crisis in their career, some more, some less. But it's important to stand up stronger.
Do you feel a pressure to be #1? Because all former players are saying, yes, there's a certain amount of extra pressure to the #1 title. Do you feel it, or really not?
I try not to think about it too much, because there is always pressure. There is always expectations. Obviously now as number one, I have more expectations than I ever had in my career. So I'm aware of that, but it's a challenge. You know, if you cannot overcome the pressure, you cannot be the best, and it's a fact. So I just need to, you know, I need to try to do the same things, to have the same routine that I always had in my preparation, in my practice, in my tournaments, and you know, I'm sure I'll keep doing well.
Novak, how much are you a performer like the actors and singers that are on Jay Leno? You on the show. How much are you just like that?
Well, I don't get a lot of opportunities to dance Serbian traditional dance. It was a right place to try that. It was a lot of fun, really. It was great spending some time in LA. I was using that time, of course, to prepare well, great weather, and to visit some friends, and of course do some PR activity, and obviously day after day to be a part of Jay Leno and Conor Bryan was not an easy thing, but it was definitely enjoyable, something I never have done before.
You changed your diet, like we all know. How much of a difference does that make?
Well, it made a difference. It didn't make any big difference, you know, like maybe a lot of people would present it publicly, which you know, I think that part of my career, you know, part of my success is of course changing diet, but still improving as a person, improving on the court, working hours and hours, you know, knowing what to do on the court, mentally preparing. So I think every member of my team is equally deserving this success that we have. So it hasn't been an easy change, definitely, because I have been obviously I mean, I had all my life pastas, you know, and things like that, pizzas, you know, like I think most of the athletes, carbohydrates. And then suddenly, I mean, I didn't know what's the issue with breathing, and I had a lot of, you know, health concerns in the last couple of years. But you know, I managed to change the diet with a right professional in my team who has advised me for, you know, some things in my diet, and here we go. You know, I feel much better, and I have no more allergies, so it's great.
Last couple of questions, please.
Novak, there's about 5,000 Serbians living in Quebec, and for them you really represent like more than the world champion. You're like a hero for them. I met an artist today that you'll be meeting tomorrow. She wants to give you a painting that she made of you. It's a really important moment for her and for the community in Montreal. I want to hear a few words about this. What do you think about this, and are you aware of what you represent for the Serbian community here?
I'm not fully aware. Partly I know that, of course, that what I represent to the people, especially Serbian people who live out of Serbia, but I'm aware that I have this big responsibility of representing the country, because I come from a small country. I come from a country that faced a lot of difficulties in the past, and that didn't have, and still doesn't have, the best image in the world. But you know, me as an athlete, I'm trying to make that better. You know, so to present to the people in a nicer way, because there's many things that our country can offer than what is presented actually in the world. So support of both the Serbian people anywhere around the world is very welcome, and it's fantastic to see you know, people coming in the national colors to the tennis tournament, even to the practice of these days. You know, just giving their support, and it's very nice. You know, obviously I'm very flattered.
You just said there's more responsibility for being number one, and you just talked about your personality. You obviously you're very fun to watch and very entertaining. Do you feel like you have to tone it down a bit since you're at the top now as part of the?
I will not change anything about my personality, because I don't think it's right to change a person. I think everybody should be the way they are.
Regarding your game, do you want to maintain like your level, which is incredible this year, or is there specific areas where you know you have to improve and you think it's going to be important if you want to stay there?
No, I just need to keep the thing simple. I mean, as I said before, I need to really not think too much about what I need to change now. I need to change now. I mean, I have the game that brought me to the number one in the world, to where I am. So I have no reason to be concerned if I do need to improve on something. Of course, there's always something to improve in, and that's why we're working each day for hours and hours. But you know, I think I have a game that is good enough for any surface to, you know, to beat the best players in the world.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.